Okay, let's unpack this. You've brought us a fascinating collection of sources today, all centered around the world of do-it-yourself projects and professional construction.
Mhm.
Our mission for this deep dive is to go beyond just the physical act of building. We really want to extract those important nuggets of knowledge and insight.
Yeah, the underlying lessons.
Exactly. Think of it as a shortcut, maybe, to being genuinely well-informed on what these projects teach us about, well, effort, planning, quality work, safety, teamwork.
And even language, which is really interesting.
Right, even the very language we use every day.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is how these seemingly diverse scenarios, building a simple wooden deck or maybe fixing a leaky roof to painting a room, tackling a plumbing problem, assembling that flat pack furniture we all know,
I'll definitely know that one.
and even coordinating a massive community center construction, how they all connect and highlight these universal principles. We've got so much to explore from these different scripts you've shared.
It's incredible, isn't it? We're going to dive into the whole spirit of DIY and home life first.
Okay.
Then move into the critical importance of precision and planning. We'll definitely spend time on why safety is just paramount.
Crucial.
Then get into the amazing array of tools and their specific purposes. From there, we'll tackle the art of problem solving and maintenance.
When things go wrong.
Exactly. The undeniable power of teamwork. And finally, what I find most surprising, how the language of building provides such rich, profound metaphors for our everyday lives.
And it really does often start with those personal projects, doesn't it? That feeling of doing it yourself.
It absolutely does. In North America, DIY projects are, well, they're a huge part of home life. It's not just about saving a few bucks. It's kind of a whole cultural phenomenon centered on creativity, independence, and often teamwork.
Yeah, getting friends involved.
Totally. I mean, on any given weekend, you might find families out there building a deck or giving a room a fresh coat of paint, maybe even constructing an awesome treehouse for the kids. People often invite friends over to help, turning it into a really social activity.
It really is about building more than just a structure in those cases.
That's a great way to put it.
And that sense of shared effort and intention, it truly underscores the importance of initial planning. When you're tackling something like a deck or even assembling that flat pack furniture.
Right, the kind that comes in a box.
Exactly. You need to pore over the blueprints or the assembly manuals for the layout first.
Okay.
This is where that old carpenter's rule of thumb becomes invaluable. Measure twice, cut once.
Ah, yes, the classic.
It's all about precision. You use a level to make sure surfaces are perfectly flat and straight. Whether it's for that deck or just checking if a new shelf is crooked.
It happens all the time.
And a measuring tape ensures you get exact spacing for every single piece.
That's such a crucial point because you have to adjust before it's too late, right?
Absolutely. It's like a physical manifestation of getting everyone on the same page.
Yeah.
And making sure you cover all bases before you even pick up a tool.
And speaking of picking up a tool, what's the very first thing you should consider before you even, begin hammering or cutting?
Well, before any tool, it really should be a commitment to safety. The sources you shared really drive this home as an overriding principle for any project, big or small.
I can see why. We heard about putting on gloves and goggles for even a simple deck build.
Basic stuff, but essential.
Making sure a ladder is securely placed, and the absolute necessity of wearing a harness and helmet when you're up high, like on a roof.
Definitely. You can't cut corners there.
And there's a strong cultural note here too, isn't there? In North America, safety regulations on job sites are incredibly strict.
They are, and often it's the law, not just a suggestion. It's really about protecting everyone involved.
Makes sense.
Which brings us, naturally, to the tools themselves. Each one really is designed with a very specific purpose.
Okay, let's get into that.
So, for cutting and shaping, you have things like the circular saw for those 2x4 boards, that common rectangular lumber you see everywhere in construction.
Right, the standard wood.
And then a sander to smooth rough edges and avoid splinters. Nobody wants splinters.
No, definitely not.
And if you're tackling something like a leaky roof, you'll definitely need a crowbar for prying up those old stubborn shingles.
For the demolition part.
Exactly. And then for fastening, joining, or sealing, the list is pretty extensive.
I bet.
Think screws, or maybe a roofing nail gun that quickly drives nails in, saves a lot of time.
Okay.
Then there's caulk to seal edges, keeping out water or air. A wrench is essential for turning nuts and bolts, and for loosening or tightening pipe joints in plumbing.
Right, plumbers always have those.
And speaking of plumbing, if you're tackling a leak, Plumber's tape is absolutely essential to seal the pipe threads and prevent drips.
That little white tape?
That's the one. And for furniture assembly, you might use small wooden dowels, maybe an Allen wrench for specific screws, various bolts, and of course good old nails and a hammer, maybe for securing a back panel.
Got it. Lots of specific fasteners.
And painting has its own specific toolkit too.
Right, rollers, trays.
Rollers for large surfaces, paint trays, definitely a drop cloth to protect floors from drips.
Always need more drop cloths than you think.
So true. Painter's tape for getting those clean edges, a stir stick to mix the paint properly, and maybe an extension pole for those high spots like ceilings.
Okay. And what about the really big projects?
Well, on the really big builds, the sheer scale requires specialized equipment. You've got a crane operator guiding massive steel beams into place, a
Wow.
welding machine for joining metal components securely, and scaffolding those temporary structures workers stand on to work safely at height.
That's a whole different level of operation, an impressive arsenal of tools, really. And it's clear each one has a specific job. But, even with the right tools, projects rarely go perfectly, do they?
Not usually, no. There's always something.
So what do these sources tell us about the art of problem solving when things inevitably go wrong or sideways?
Well, they tell us it's not just about fixing, it's also about diagnosis and strategy first.
Okay.
You saw how to address a leaky roof, which could be from cracked shingles, sure, but it also involves using underlayment beneath them and sealing properly with caulk.
Right, multiple layers.
Or a dripping sink, which often just needs something simple, like a new rubber washer and some of that plumber's tape to seal the connection properly.
So sometimes it's a simple fix, sometimes it's more complex. Sounds like those situations teach us more than just how to turn a wrench, though.
Exactly. These practical scenarios teach us valuable concepts, like the idea of a patch-it-up fix,
Like a temporary solution.
right, versus a complete overhaul. A patch might buy you time, but an overhaul addresses the root cause for the long term. It's not just about fixing a leak. It's about understanding when a quick fix is okay versus when it's truly time to rebuild a system, whether it's your finances or your habits.
That's a great analogy.
Or what it means to be back to square one, recognizing when you need to just stop, restart, rather than keep pushing a flawed solution.
Yeah, admitting defeat sometimes.
And a fresh coat of paint. It isn't just about literally painting a room, is it? It's become this powerful metaphor for quick transformation or giving something a new burst of energy and optimism.
I love that idea of a fresh coat of paint for just giving something a new outlook. And, none of these projects, big or small, truly happen in a vacuum, do they?
No, not at all.
The sources really seem to highlight how much they depend on collaboration.
You're absolutely right. I mean, even assembling that flat pack furniture, something seemingly simple, is often way easier and less frustrating with two people working together.
Oh, I can certainly attest to that. Usually after I've tried to go it alone for like an hour and failed miserably.
We've all been there. But then on a larger scale, like you mentioned, we heard about supervisors or foremen guiding teams on a big construction site, coordinating all the various specialists, crane operators, welders, electricians, plumbers. It's a perfect example of how different experts need to work hand in hand.
That coordination seems key.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think, because this physical world of building and construction, it has seeped so deeply into our everyday language. It gives us these incredibly rich metaphors for life itself.
I find these absolutely fascinating. Like when we talk about effort or quality, we say to give it your all or to take pride in your work.
Right. Strong, action-oriented phrases.
And on the flip side, we instantly know what it means to cut corners. But what makes these metaphors so sticky, do you think? Why do we instinctively reach for building terms when we're describing our efforts or challenges?
That's a great question. I think maybe it's because building is so tangible, so visible.
Yeah, you can see the progress.
Exactly. We can see the effort,
Yeah.
the structure taking shape, the results. So when we apply those concepts to more abstract ideas like our careers or relationships, they suddenly become more concrete and understandable.
That makes sense.
And think about problems or stress. We use phrases like being in hot water or feeling under pressure. You might even hear someone say they need to tighten the screws on a situation to get things in order,
Yeah.
implying a need for, stricter control or more focus.
Right, applying pressure. And then there's perspective and patience, too.
Yeah. We're advised to go with the flow sometimes, or reminded that something will work out in the long run.
True.
And many complex tasks, like learning a new skill perhaps, are often best approached piece by piece,
Yeah.
just like assembling something complex.
Building it up gradually. Okay.
And when we talk about the big picture or progress,
Yeah.
we might say something needs that fresh coat of paint we talked about for new energy.
Yeah.
We refer to the nuts and bolts when we mean the essential details of something.
The core component.
Being on solid ground means you're in a safe or strong position. To raise the bar is obviously to set higher standards.
We hear that one a lot.
We say, the sky's the limit, when there are seemingly no boundaries to what can be achieved. And even learning itself can be described using these terms like scaffolding your learning, building on what you already know,
How interesting.
or building a foundation for future knowledge. It really shows how deeply the language of construction is woven to our everyday speech, doesn't it?
It really does. It's quite amazing when you lay it all out like that.
So if we connect all of this to the bigger picture, these deep dives into construction and DIY, they really show us that the lessons learned on a job site are incredibly versatile.
Yeah.
They offer these powerful frameworks for approaching challenges in our own lives, far beyond just, physical builds.
That's a profound thought. So the key takeaways seem pretty clear then. DIY is more than just building something physical. It's really about life skills like meticulous planning, creative problem solving, and that non-negotiable safety aspect.
Absolutely. And the immense value of precision and quality, especially that measure twice, cut once mantra. It really does apply almost everywhere.
So true.
Then there's the surprising power of common tools and sometimes simple fixes when they're applied thoughtfully.
Right. Sometimes the simplest solution works.
And the absolutely crucial role of teamwork and coordination in achieving pretty much any goal, whether it's just two people assembling furniture or a huge crew constructing a skyscraper.
Yeah, collaboration is key. And of course, that fascinating way the language of building provides such rich metaphors to describe everything from our careers to our emotional states. So the next time you, our listener, encounter a challenge, whether it's learning something new or tackling a project, maybe remember some of these lessons from the job site.
Yeah, and maybe this raises an important question for you to consider. What foundation are you building in your own life right now, piece by piece? And how can applying the nuts and bolts of careful planning, safety, and teamwork help you raise the bar on your own aspirations?